fittest man in La Liga. He moves into the engine room tonight to provide box-to-box drive. And on the left, number 22, Ademola Lookman, the winter signing who's hit the ground running with 2 goals in his last 2 games. And the front two, number 7, Antoine Griezmann, the little prince. He makes his 109th Champions League appearance tonight, alongside number 19, Julian Alvarez, La Araña, the pressing monster. He has 4 goals in the competition and sets the defensive tone from the front. The man in the middle tonight is Sweden's Glenn Nyberg, who is tasked with both managing the temperature inside this cauldron and being supported from the VAR booth by England's Jared Gillett. An appointment that adds an interesting layer of scrutiny given the recent discourse in Spain regarding English officiating standards and the differing interpretations of laws across Europe. So there we have it. Youth and verticality for Bruges, experience and relentless pressing for Atletico. Kickoff is moments away. Nyberg, the referee, is just going through the pleasantries with Vanaken and the Atletico captain Koke. Pennants being exchanged, teams getting into their shapes, and we will be kicking off shortly. So just to remind you that Bruges finished 19th in the league phase with 10 points. Atleti finished 14th with 13 points. Bruges have actually won 5 of their last 6 matches in all competitions and are unbeaten at home against Atletico historically. And don't forget, Atletico are on their longest ever losing run in away Champions League knockout matches, 4 consecutive losses, and they've not kept a clean sheet in their last 8 Champions League matches. If they concede tonight, it'll be a club record for their longest run without a shutout in Europe, unheard of for a Simeone side. Bruges lead the Champions League in goals by under 21 players, 9 goals this season. Atletico has one of the oldest squads in the competition, average age of 28.1. As I look down at the pitch, seeing Mignolet going through his final bits of preparation. The Bruges goalkeeper is opposite number, Jan Oblak, dressed all in green, looking for that clean sheet this season. It's going to be Bruges who get us underway. They are in their traditional strip of dark blue and black with black shorts, black socks. They'll be kicking from right to left. Atletico Madrid in their traditional red and white stripes, red shorts, red socks. We are underway here in Belgium, and the ball is launched forward into the Atletico half, headed away straight away by Hanko, and that goes out for a throw into Bruges on the right hand side, which their young right back Saba is going to take. He throws it back into Ordonez, the 21-year-old Ecuadorian, into Vanaken, and Vanaken moves it across to Saba. Saba goes deeper back to Ordonez, and he moves it across to Michele. Michele back into Ordonez, and first touch for Mignolet in the Bruges goal, dressed in light blue, right-footed, doesn't get a great clearance out there, but headed away in midfield by Llorente, and that goes out for another Bruges throw. Quickly taken, Vanaken. Heavy touch from Vanaken, goes straight back out for a throw-in. Lookman's over to get the ball, but he just passes it off to Ruggieri. Ruggieri, the Italian, looks down the line for options before pausing, throwing back. Nice touch by Koke to get away in midfield. Plays in field to Griezmann, who's come very deep to receive the ball for the first time, and Pubil moves it wide right now to Simeone. First touch of the ball for the manager's son. He goes back to Pubil. Pubil rolls it across the halfway line to Hanko, and Hanko steps into midfield for the first time tonight. Little ball out to the left back Ruggieri, and it's gone back in field. Koke now, Atletico's captain, just pops it back to Pubil, and Atletico just getting familiar with the ball in the first 90 seconds here in Belgium. Bruges just dropping off, defending and pressing in a 4-4-2 shape at the moment. Ball's rolled in to Griezmann. Griezmann pops it back out to Koke, and Atletico look to move down the left now. Ruggieri takes a touch, goes back to Hanko. Hanko on the halfway line, looks for movement, takes a couple of touches inside the Bruges half, just rolls it left again to Ruggieri. That's a nice ball inside where Llorente is able to turn. He plays it back out to Pubil. Pubil keeps the ball moving. That's a heavy touch and stolen by Vanaken. Vanaken looks to come away, and Pubil's forced to poke that one back home to Jan Oblak, and Atletico can settle again and move out on the left with Hanko. Hanko plays the ball into the midfield where Llorente just pops it back out again and moves it across to Pupil. Pupil puts a bit more pace out to Molina this time. Molina into Koke. Koke hips it down the line. Griezmann looking to move into that space. Holds it up, plays inside. Back to Molina. Molina loses out. Vanaken gets the ball, touches it left once again. And Diakon look to do something. Diakon seems to be starting down the left with Zolis on the right. Slight change of size to what we expected tonight. Vanaken looking to put Koke under a bit of pressure. He just rolls it into Griezmann. Griezmann pops it back out to Pupil. Pupil goes across to Hanko. Hanko out to Ruggieri. Just comes in off the left touchline. Ball in field. Alvarez comes short. Holds it up. Pops it back out to Koke. Gives it back to Alvarez. Bit of space for the Argentinian in the middle of the park. Turns. Gives it back to Koke. Koke getting a lot of ball early on in this game. 3.5 minutes gone. Brugge 0. Atletico Madrid 0. Look to play that ball in behind for Lookman. And good header away by Ordonez. And Club Brugge now look to break down the right. But that's well cut out by Ruggieri. That ball was going to Zolis. But the Italian just got in ahead of him. Alvarez helps it back to Ruggieri. Goes down the line. Julian Alvarez now attacks the penalty area for Brugge. Plays it inside to Griezmann. Griezmann goes across. That's a good bit of covering by Vanaken. Working all his way back in from the number 10 position. Went with Griezmann. Just lent on the Frenchman. And that ball goes out, I think, for a corner to Atletico. Let's just have a look back on my monitor here. Yeah, it came clearly off the Club Brugge captain, and it's the first corner which Julian Alvarez is going to swing into the near post. Blocked in the near post area. Saba looks to head away, not completely clear yet for Brugge. Goes back out to Alvarez on the left. He chops back onto his right foot, lays it back to Ruggieri. Ruggieri crosses in, headed away at the far post by Says. And once again, and Diakon looks to put Molina under a bit of pressure. Ball goes right to Simeone, but that just goes beyond Simeone and out for a throw-in. So just having a look back here, might be something here from VAR to have a look at. Has that ball clipped the young left-back Says? I'll tell you what, it looks like Club Brugge are going to get a penalty here. The referee has told them to wait, and they're going to be looking at this. Simeone's pretty convinced, I can tell you that much, and just from the angle I've just seen, that looks like it has clipped the arm quite clearly of the 20-year-old Belgian left-back, Joaquin Says. Koke just speaking to Glenn Nyberg as we speak. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a penalty. VAR taking their time, though, before advising Nyberg to go, and I'm going to assume he's going to go over and have a look at the monitor himself, but the ball has absolutely made contact with the arm by the elbow of Joaquin Says. So that really looks like it should be a penalty to Atletico. That's Vanaken just speaking to the referee. Ivan Leko looking a little bit worried on the sideline, just having a quick chat with Diakon. Just seeing this one back again. Yeah, as that ball came in, absolutely no doubt about it. Says has jumped under it. His arm is up and out, as it would be. Says himself doesn't look particularly confident he's going to get away with this. VAR are taking a very long time. And as expected, Glenn Nyberg's now being advised to go and have a look at the monitor. And I'm telling you, folks, this is only going to have one outcome. This is going to be a penalty to Atletico Madrid. They are going to have an absolutely gift opportunity to take the lead here in Belgium. And I'm just seeing what the referee is seeing at this moment in time. And there is no way he is not going to give this as a penalty. It looks worse and worse each time I see it. How we've all missed this in real time, I have absolutely no idea. But yes, Glenn Nyberg has pointed to the spot. Joaquin Says has been penalised for a handball. It is a penalty to Atletico Madrid. The offence must have happened in the 4th minute. We're about to go into the 7th minute. And there's going to be an opportunity for Atletico Madrid to take an early lead here in Belgium. Got to feel sorry for the academy product. 21 starts this season being spoken as the next big export for Club Brugge, but it's his mistake, which is meaning Julian Alvarez has placed the ball on the spot and an opportunity to give Atletico Madrid the lead. Mignolet moving across his line, trying to put the Argentinian World Cup winner off. Alvarez only has eyes for the ball at the moment. Determined stare on the face of the Argentine. He looks at the goal, he's waiting for the whistle. He's going to take this right-footed. Takes a couple of steps forward, steps up, puts it into the bottom left corner of Mignolet's goal. Mignolet stood tall, expecting a shot down the middle. The ball is nestled in the back of the net, and Atletico Madrid have an early 1-0 lead here in Bruges. Atletico Madrid 1-0 up against the home team. Julian Alvarez has nestled that penalty into the bottom left-hand corner. Mignolet stood tall, presuming it might be struck down the middle. It wasn't, it went to his left, and Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone's team, have a 1-0 lead. Very composed finish from Julian Alvarez in the team today. 5 Champions League goals this season. 17 in 23 Champions League starts now for the World Cup winner. So we're back underway. Ball goes back to Simon Mignolet in the Bruges goal. He goes across his 6-yard box before passing it out to Saba. Saba clips it down the line looking for Zolis, but that's headed away by Atletico, and they regain the ball. Pubil in the centre circle just pops it back to Hanko, and Hanko from deep just plays it left again to Ruggieri. Ruggieri takes a touch, goes all the way back to Jan Oblak, and Diego Simeone's team now have something to hold on to here, but they haven't kept a clean sheet in 8 Champions League games. So big moments for them in this one now. If they could just hold on to this, they'll take something back to the Metropolitano next week. They'll be delighted to be able to do so. Stankovic just moving across the midfield, plays to Michele. Michele turns, goes back to Mignolet in goal, approaching the 10th minute mark. Clipped forward, Says helps this one on, but well won by Molina in the air, gets it down, headed down, brought down by Griezmann. Quickly in by Michele. Michele plays it, and Molina quickly retrieves, goes back to Jan Oblak. Oblak about 5 yards outside his goal, just rolls it across to Hanko. So much of Atletico's build-up play comes through David Hanko in that left centre-back position. He just takes another touch, goes back to Oblak once again. Bruges just moving up a little bit higher. Lecco likes a high defensive line as Oblak launches this one forward towards Ademola Lookman. One in the air comfortably enough by Ordinev, and ball's out on the left with Ruggieri from Madrid, and goes back inside once again to Hanko. Hanko looks to Pubil across the back four. Pubil takes a touch, plays forward, won by Says. Nice little ball into Vanaken. Vanaken tried to help it on to Diacon, and Atletico Madrid get possession of the ball again. Alvarez goes back to Hanko. Hanko across to Pubil, driven into Griezmann. Griezmann helps it on towards Alvarez. Michele comes across, cuts it out. Nice little touch there from Tresoldi. First time we've seen him so far tonight. Diacon, space to run down the left for Club Brugge. Tries to take on Molina. Molina holds him up. Diacon crosses to the near post. Pubil puts it out for a throw-in, but that's the first time we have seen the young Frenchman Mamadou Diacon with any real space to attack Molina. And he got to a position where he could cross the ball, but that cross was cut out well by Pubil. But finally, Club Brugge starting to get some touches on the ball. Vanaken drops deep, goes back towards the centre circle, turns, plays in field, picks out Onyedika. Onyedika goes out to the wing where he finds Zolis. Zolis, nice little touch, takes it back inside, keeps possession of the ball, goes across to Vanaken. Vanaken a bit deeper than we would expect, but that's a good ball out to the left to Diacon again. Diacon sees Says overlap him, but he drops inside on his right foot, goes inside to Simeone, plays it all the way across. Oh, and that's half a chance from Onyedika from the edge of the box. Onyedika kept his shot down, kept it low, but a comfortable enough save for Oblak. Just straight at the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper, Onyedika, breaking from his defensive midfield position. But a nice bit of play there from Club Brugge, their best moment of the match so far tonight. Coming up to 12.5 minutes gone. Atletico Madrid lead by 1-0. Julian Alvarez's penalty. But that's the first time we've seen Club Brugge really get on the ball, create something as Madrid come forward with a long ball down the right. Something for Simeone to run in on. And Says just about gets enough on that header back to Mignolet. The young left back looking a little bit rattled by giving away that penalty in the 4th or 5th minute. He just reacted well enough to head that ball back to Mignolet as Simeone looked to close it down. That's given away cheaply in the midfield. And away comes Lookman. Lookman on the left for Atletico. Plays it in behind. Can Griezmann get there? No, that ball's just gone a little bit too far from Lookman. Goes out for a goal kick. In fact, it was Ruggieri underlapping from left back that had the opportunity to cross with his left foot. But the ball just ran out for a goal kick to Brugge. A little bit heavy there from Ademola Lookman, signed from Atalanta in the January window. 2 goals in 2 games for him so far. Sorry, 2 goals in his last 2 games, I should say, for the Nigerian international. Fantastic signing. Simeone was desperate for additions in the January window, and he was delighted to get Ademola Lookman into the club, and he's straight away settled into Simeone's style of play and looks like a threat. He's playing slightly more central than I expected him to be doing today, with Llorente playing a little bit more left and Griezmann playing in a hole behind the front 2, really. Ball goes left out to Diacon. Diacon looks to take on Molina again, gets away from Molina. Good play here by Diacon. Just cuts, gives it back to Says. Says doesn't take a good enough touch, but has to win the ball back in the second tackle. Does well. Griezmann looks at the referee, wanting a foul there, but although Says gave the ball away there, reacted quickly, got a good tackle in. But as he gave it away, he was just trying to play it backwards and kick the ball from his left foot to his right foot. And yeah, uncomfortable opening 15 minutes for this young left back in the Club Brugge team. I think we'll learn a lot about his character tonight at this level, how he can react from such a poor start. Throw in, given away. Good shot from Tresoldi from distance. Shot from about 25 yards, looked to bend it to the left of Oblak. Just went wide. But that was sloppy from Atletico, given away there by Simeone to Tresoldi. Shot from distance, looked to bend it around Hanko, but never enough curl on that one, and that just goes out comfortably enough for an Atletico Madrid goalkeeper. Okay, throw into Atletico now on the right-hand side. Molina up by their corner flag on this near side, the right-hand side. I would imagine this one's going to be launched down the line. Throw down the line by Molina, is cut out by Says, and Onyedika gets it in the midfield. Plays a nice little ball in to Vanaken. Vanaken holds it up, goes left to Diacon. Diacon looked to pop it back to Says, but hounded out quickly by Atletico Madrid players, and that's a bad touch by Molina. That goes out for throw-in again to Brugge on this left-hand side. Says, bandaged left wrist. Looks to find a teammate to throw the ball to, taking his time. No real movement from Club Brugge yet. Says now takes a few paces back from the touchline. Is this going to be a longer throw? Looks like it might be, yeah. Thrown a little bit longer, brought down by Onyedika, and that's cleared away. Nice touch by Ordonez, and Ordonez goes back all the way to his goalkeeper Mignolet. Mignolet goes left to Michele. Michele looks for options, rolls it across once again to Ordonez, and Ordonez helps it on one more to Saba. Saba just comes in field, plays it back to the Ecuadorian central defender, across to Michele. Michele moves into midfield. That's a nice ball into Tresoldi. Tresoldi plays it left. Diacon. Diacon again looking to run. Simeone comes in to support Molina. 1-2 with Says. Diacon comes short, goes back across to Michele. Michele keeps it to the left and Says. Says drifts in field, gives it back to Michele, quite high up the central defender. Plays it across to Ordonez. Ordonez keeps the ball moving to Saba. Saba wide now to Zolis. Zolis drifts in field. being closed down well by Atletico. They know he's a danger man, so they double up on him quickly. Michele gives it back to Ordonez. Ordonez back across to Saba. Saba looks for movement, chops back, plays back inside to Ordonez. Ordonez helps it across to Michele. Bit of pressure now from Alvarez. Played forward, well brought down by Tresoldi. That's a good hold-up play. That's a great turn by Tresoldi in the middle of the park. He drifts out to the right, but then he gives it away. Just showed too much to Ruggieri, who's able to stop that ball getting to Christos Solis out on the right-hand side. But that was a wonderful turn by Tresoldi, showing some bright moments of play in the last few minutes. Tresoldi, ball goes across to Michele. Michele chips it out left, where Diacon again gives it width, brings it in on his right foot, looks to take on Molina. Plays it to the edge of the box when Michele's an option again. Drags it across with his left foot. Plays it infield. Ordonez. All the Club Brugge outfield players high up in the Atletico half. There comes the cross. Hooked away by Hanko. Headed away by Ruggieri, who follows his header. Now Llorente gets a chance. Doesn't clear it at all. Tresoldi gets a shot. That's a good save by Oblak. Llorente gave it away to Tresoldi. He got a quick snapshot away. Oblak had to be quick to his left to get down and palm it away. This is a good play by Club Brugge. They are putting Atletico Madrid under a bit of pressure here in Bruges. And as soon as I say that, they give the ball away lazily, and Atletico Madrid are able to move it out. But once again, Bruges get the ball back. They are keeping the pressure on Atletico Madrid here. Nice little 1-2 with Vanaken between Saba and Vanaken. He goes back to Ordonez. Ordonez takes a couple of touches, just slows it down before spinning the ball right again to Saba. Saba out to Zolis. Zolis, nice little ball down the line towards Saba. That's good tracking play by Ruggieri. Just gets enough on it, and the ball breaks out now to Lookman. Lookman looks to dance away from Saba. Has to go back to Ruggieri. Good ball inside to Llorente. Llorente moves it across to Pubil, and now Molina's got a bit of space for Atletico Madrid. He can move forward down the right-hand side, comes inside, drifts inside, gives that away terribly. Onyedika gets it, plays it left to Diacon. Diacon now gets an opportunity to run into the space left by Molina, and his cross is put away for a corner. Terrible pass by Molina, just passed it straight to a Club Brugge player in the middle of the park. It went out to Diacon, he went across. Molina just about got back in time and put it out for a corner. Diacon urging the Club Brugge support to make more noise. And it's a corner on this near side. Bruges is left to be taken right-footed by the Greek Christos Zolis. He's going to swing this corner in to the Atletico Madrid box. Swung into the middle of it, headed up by Hanko. Out comes Oblak, doesn't get a good enough punch. It's still in the box, it's bouncing around. Was that handball by Atletico Madrid? The Club Brugge players are convinced. I would imagine VAR will be looking at this one as Bruges come forward once again. Ball's with Ordonez. High up on the pitch, goes left to Says, playing quite centrally. Into Vanaken, the captain. Vanaken spins, goes out to Zolis, who's still on the left-hand side. Takes a touch, comes inside. Being slowed down by Lookman. Zolis goes back outside to his teammate Says, who rolls it across to his captain, Vanaken. Stankovic keeps the ball moving. Ordonez takes a touch, comes back inside Stankovic. Looked like there was space on the right for Ordonez to attack, but he opted not to. Vanaken out to Says. Says moves towards the penalty area, plays it down the left-hand side. Zolis tries to play it across, that's come off Molina. Zolis takes it again by the corner flag, keeps possession, goes back to Says. Says beats his man Molina, and he is supported well by Simeone, who hooks that one out for a throw-in. Club Brugge having a nice spell here. Nyberg explaining to Vanaken why it isn't an Atletico Madrid penalty. But I'll tell you what, as Koke jumped towards the ball there, he's turned his back on it and it's rolled down his arm. And I can understand why the Club Brugge players are leaping around at that moment, appealing for the penalty. Incredible that it's not been looked at, because although, yes, his arm is in a natural position because he hasn't moved it out, he's just turned his back on the ball and allowed it to hit his arm. Club Brugge can feel pretty hard done by, in my opinion. But they are dominating the last 5 or 6 minutes here. Ivan Leko has got a yellow card and he is still pacing that touchline. He is furious with that decision. And Nyberg is coming over to explain to him again that he needs to calm down. But the activity on I mean, you can just see from the body language on the Club Brugge bench that they are steaming with that decision. VAR had the opportunity to see that back several times and have decided that it was not worthy of at least the referee going and having another look himself. For me, not as blatant as Joaquin Say's offence, which led to the Atletico Madrid penalty, but still a penalty for me. Very surprised at that. Vanaken deep in his own half, moves up to the halfway line now. Just rolls the ball under his studs on his right foot. Plays it left to Says. Fluesen boots, plays it infield to Stankovic. Stankovic chops this one out towards Diakon on the left again, and Molina does well that time. Plays a nice ball into Griezmann. Griezmann into Alvarez. Alvarez keeps possession, but that's well won by Ordonez. But the ball rebounds through to Hanko in that Atletico back line. Ruggieri plays it down the line to Lookman. Lookman takes it on his chest, holds it up nicely, plays back into Llorente. Llorente tries to spin away, has his pocket picked, and Brugge recycle the ball in the centre circle. Michele plays forward, nice ball into Stankovic. Stankovic takes a touch, goes back to Onyedika. Onyedika, that's a nice ball through the lines to Tresoldi, out wide right now. Vanaken out on the right, crosses into the box, deflected, and Oblak is able to claim in his 6-yard box. Oblak just now takes his time, slows it down. Just seeing the save again from Oblak from Tresoldi a little while ago. Ball came from Llorente, just hitting it into Vanaken. Vanaken, it came off his chest and just fell to Tresoldi, who turned and shot quickly. Oblak had to be alert. Made a good save down to his left-hand side. One of those moments that have been forgotten in all of the kerfuffle over the non-penalty for Club Brugge. 24.5 minutes gone here in Belgium. It's still Club Brugge 0, Atletico Madrid 1. Julian Alvarez's penalty in the 8th minute gives the Spanish team the lead here in this Champions League playoff fixture. Long ball forward towards Ademola Lookman for Atletico Madrid. Saba wins it in the air, just heads it out for a throw-in, which Ruggieri comes forward and he will take midway inside the Club Brugge half. Takes a quick throw, popped back out by Griezmann. Ball goes back into David Hanko. Hanko moves it across to Molina, quite central. Molina goes out to Simeone. Simeone plays it down the line. Good movement from Griezmann. Looks to play it back to Simeone, but Stankovic just comes across and puts it out for a throw in. Griezmann unlikely to take the throw himself, just waiting for a teammate to come and take the ball from him. And Simeone comes to receive it. Looks like it's going to be a long throw heading into the Club Brugge penalty area. Simeone waving players into position. Runs up to the line now. Launches it, not the longest of long throws, headed away fairly easily by Vanaken, and Molina just takes his time. Plays the ball, and Atletico Madrid keep possession. Two academy products in the back line for Club Brugge today. The right back, Kiriani Saba, 21 years old, also came through the academy, Club Next. And he's a quick, as we've seen, but he's got a big test with Ademola Lookman and Ruggieri doubling up down that side as he plays the ball infield to Stankovic. Stankovic helps it left to Michele. Michele knocks it down the left-hand side towards Diakon, and Diakon couldn't quite gather that one in, runs under his studs, goes out for a throw. Michele just looks up to the heavens. He knew he just put that ball a little bit too far in front of his winger. Molina with a throw in right by the corner flag. Plays it to Pupil. Pupil hooks it forward. One in the air by Stankovic. Lookman picks it up in the middle of the park. Hooks it back to Ruggieri on the edge of his penalty area. Ruggieri goes back to Lookman. Out towards the left-hand touchline. Going backwards, going back towards his own goal. Being held up by Saba. Has to play back to Ruggieri, who now plays forward. One in the air by Ordonez. That's a poor header by Ordonez. Giving it straight to Griezmann in the centre circle. Griezmann moves forward. Looks to release Simeone gets a chance to shoot from about 25 yards, and that's wild. High and wide from Simeone. He was running at Says, and given the start to this game Says has made, it would have made more sense for Simeone to have a run and take the young Belgian left back on, but he opted to shoot from distance, and that was wild, as I said, high over the crossbar. Club Brugge start again. Vanaken playing deeper and deeper as this game goes on in the first half. Played forward now. Tresoldi holds it up well, links up nicely. Ball goes back to Ordnev into Onyedika. Onyedika goes out to Michele. Michele to Says. Back to Michele. Atletico just drop into their 4-4-2 shape. Happy to sit in their own half. Waiting for Ordnez to join them. He just rolls it left in the centre circle to Michele. Michele to Stankovic. Possession here for Club Brugge without really going anywhere as of yet. Onyedika back into Stankovic. Stankovic to Vanaken. Vanaken back into Michele. Michele just drops his shoulder, goes across to Vanaken once again. Stankovic moves it out to Ordnez. Ordnez plays it with a bit of width now to Saba, the young right back. He just comes in field, plays it now out wider to Zolis. Zolis, nice ball. Tresoldi's found a good space there. Little ball in towards Vanaken. That's bounced off an Atletico defender, and Ruggieri tries to play out. Good feet by Koke, just keeps possession. Ruggieri helps it down the line. Somewhat aimless though, as Ordnez steps in to take it, but gives it away again. They can't keep giving the ball away to Atletico Madrid in these positions. Saba comes across and cuts that pass that was going towards Lookman. Well read by the young right back. Ball goes back to Mignolet and he drives it forwards. Tresoldi looks to battle with Pupil. Pupil gives it away. Now there's space again for Diacon. Diacon runs out to the left-hand touchline. Comes inside on his left foot. Crossed, hooked away by Pupil. Nice touch by Antoine Griezmann in his own penalty area. He's been barged off the ball by Diacon. Yeah. A French World Cup winner's always going to get the free kick there if he's being grounded in his own penalty area. Diacon looking to press. Griezmann just bumped into him after Griezmann sold him the dummy. Yeah, I think that's a free kick. I think that's fair enough. Griezmann not getting too much preferential treatment there, but surprised to see him doing work back in his own penalty area. He'd rather be pulling off those kinds of tricks much further forward, I'm sure. As Oblak launches it forward. The flick on from Alvarez comes off a Bruges player. It'll be a throw into Atletico Madrid as we approach the half an hour mark gone here in Belgium. Club Brugge 0, Atletico Madrid 1. Molina with the throw in midway inside the Club Brugge half. Looks for movement. Hasn't really got anything on offer as of yet. That's a bit more movement now as Alvarez moves down the right hand side. He's put his arms across Says there. No, Says getting nothing from this referee so far tonight. It's a throw in to Atletico. Deep in the Club Brugge half now, near the corner flag. And yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think Says could have been a little bit stronger. Vanaken having a strong word now with the Swedish referee Glenn Nyland. Feels like his team's not getting any of the decisions. And it's likely they're going to feel like that for a long time, given that penalty that was not given for them. Ball is thrown back to Mark Pupil. He moves it across to Hanko. Hanko helps it a bit straight that to Ruggieri, but he's done well. Plays it into Lookman. Lookman back to goal. Holds it up, turns now, faces up. Saba drifts onto his right foot and he's able to keep possession. Goes back to Llorente. Llorente comes in field to Koke. Koke helps it across to Pupil. The central defender's got space to move into. Little ball round the corner. Plays a 1-2 with Griezmann. Gets it back again. Wide on the right now, Mark Pupil. Keeps possession by going deeper back to Koke. He's filled into the centre of defence. Gets it back again from Hanko. Koke into Alvarez, who's come very short. Ball's now with Pupil. Keeps possession again. Nice play. Nice build-up from Atletico Madrid. Griezmann drives that one back to Hanko. Hanko's done well to bring that down. No pressure from Club Brugge at this point. Ruggieri on the left-hand side. Back into Llorente. He's dropped deep. Llorente goes across to Hanko. Hanko over to Pupil. Brugge are shifting from side to side as waiting for Atletico to give it away. But they're good spell of possession here for Atletico Madrid. They're moving the ball with a bit of tempo. but they're still in their defensive line with Pupil into Koke. Koke gives it back to the centre-back. Griezmann's dropped into a right-back area now as the ball goes back to Jan Oblak. Griezmann still free on the right, arm in the air, wanting the ball. Doesn't get it as Oblak goes left to Llorente. He's playing in the left-back position. Ruggieri clips it forward. Lookman brings it down on his chest very nicely. That's a nice little touch-off as well to the midfield. And forward comes Griezmann. Griezmann's got space to play in. Molina down the right. Molina gets a chance to run forward, plays it back in towards Alvarez. Good defending by Michele, just stepped in, took the ball. Griezmann gets it again on the edge of the box, drifts across on his left foot, plays it in, deflected, and Brugge get the ball under control. Nice bit of play by Vanaken just to hold it up. Good, calm, composed play. Gives it back to Michele. Michele across to Ordonez, and Club Brugge are able to come out. Saba comes in field, keeps possession by going to Onyedika. Onyedika just goes square across to Michele, and Michele can bring it up to the halfway line, back into Onyedika. Onyedika into Stankovic. Stankovic helps it back to Ordonez. Vanaken has a chance to look forward. Nice ball through the lines to Zolis. Zolis to Saba. Saba comes in field, laid off by Stankovic. Ball goes wide right now. Saba down the line to Zolis. Zolis pulls it across goal. It's come across to Diakon. Can Diakon get a shot away? He can. He curls it. Just wide of the left-hand post. So close for Diakon. Steadied himself beautifully. Dropped his shoulder. Came in on his right. Looked to curl it. Curled it, but not quite enough. Just wide of the left-hand post of Jan Oblak's goal. Good build-up again by Club Brugge. Good patient play. They just need a little bit more quality in the penalty area. But they are knocking on the door of Atletico Madrid. A lot of good stuff coming down that left-hand side. When Mamadou Diakon can get on the ball. Signed for Reims in the summer of 2025. 6 assists in the league this season. In the team tonight mainly because Carlos Forbes missed training earlier in the week with a knock. He's got raw pace, Diakon. Averaging 3.4 shots per 90 minutes in home matches. That's 2 shots he's had so far in this game. Loves to cut inside and shoot, as we saw there. Throw into Atletico Madrid. Molina takes it from the right-hand side. Griezmann heads it forward, chested down by Alvarez. Griezmann helps it forward again towards Lookman. Saba had to be alert. Got his head in, but Ruggieri can step forward now. Plays it out to Lookman. Lookman, first real chance to run, but he just slows it down. Comes back inside to Alvarez. Alvarez lays it off to Llorente. Llorente out wider to Ruggieri. Keeps possession by going back to Koke. Koke rolls it under his studs. Comes to the right to Pupil. Pupil has width with Simeone. Simeone runs at the Brugge penalty area. Into the box. Gets it on his left foot. Scuffs it. Goes wide for a goal kick. Good a bit of play there by Giuliano Simeone. Absolutely no longer just the manager's son. He's been arguably Atletico's most creative league player this season with 5 assists. But he just works tirelessly, tracks back, and such direct running. Rested at the weekend, so he could provide what Diego Simeone needed from him tonight. Vanaken chips this one left to Diakon, brings it down on his chest, right on the left-hand touchline. Goes past Molina. Molina slows him down. Goes back to Joaquin Says. Says, little ball inside. Zolis quite central. Onyedika back to Michele. Goes across to Ordonez. Ordonez looked like he was going to go right. Obscode back to Onyedika. A little bit deeper. Michele. Michele out to Diakon. Diakon drops the shoulder. Comes inside on that right foot again before rolling it across to Onyedika. Onyedika moves it to the right. Ordonez keeps possession. Goes inside to Stankovic. Out now wide right to Saba. Saba takes a touch, slows it down again. Zolis comes inside, comes central, plays into Onyedika. Onyedika goes wide again to Saba. Saba, little touch back, chance for Stankovic to get on the ball. Onyedika across to Michele. Michele wider left to Says. All the way wide now to Diakon. Diakon once again goes one way, comes back on his right, plays it across. Onyedika from distance, lines up a shot. Good save again from Oblak down to his right. That was on target from Frank Onyedika, shot from distance. Didn't look like the most powerful of strikes, but it caused Oblak a few problems there. But the goalkeeper got down to his right-hand side, palmed it away. Bruges have possession again in the centre circle with Ordonez. He takes a little touch to the right, gives it to Saba. Saba comes in field, back to Frank Onyedika. He turns and plays in, looked to play in Zolis, well read by Hanko. Hanko heads away. Now, Lookman gets a chance to break down Atletico's left-hand side. Being slowed down by Saba, so Lookman just slows it up, gives it back to Llorente. Llorente comes in field to Griezmann. Llorente gets it back again, shifts it out right to Molina. Molina's got Simeone wide right, but comes back inside to Llorente. Llorente across to Hanko. Now in the left half space. Hanko plays forward to Ruggieri. Ruggieri takes a touch, comes back inside. Plays infield to Lookman. Lookman on the edge of the box. Good body strength. Holds it off. Gives it back to Koke. Koke spins it out to the right-hand side where Simeone gathers on the edge of the box. Goes back to Molina. Molina infield. Bit of space again now for Alvarez. Shoots from distance. Comfortable save for Mignolet. Down to his left-hand side. Quickly to his feet. Moves to the edge of his box. Good patient build-up from Atletico Madrid. Ending with a shot with his left foot by Julian Alvarez from distance. Just seeing this strike from Onyedika. Yeah, Oblak saw it late, which is why he was a little bit late to get across to his right-hand side. Comfortable enough double-handed save, though. But Club Brugge definitely will feel like there's something in this for them. 38.5 minutes gone here. They still trail Atletico Madrid by a goal to nil. Julian Alvarez's 8th minute penalty. But Brugge have seen enough in this opening half to feel like they can take something to Madrid next week. Ball's back with Jan Oblak in the Atletico goal. He rolls it right to Pubil. Put under pressure by Vanaken. Vanaken, good pressure. Can he pinch the ball? Simeone has to help Pubil. Pubil smashes it forward and he's given it away. Saba gets it under control, but good pressing by Lookman. He's forced a mistake from the young right back. And here comes Llorente moving forwards. Takes a few touches, keeps possession of the ball. Good tracking back by Stankovic. Stankovic gets his toe in. Ball goes back to Saba, to Christian Ordonez, and Club Brugge can rebuild again in their own half. Frank Onyedika turns, plays right. Zolis just takes a couple of touches, moves the ball back to Saba, and Club Brugge will come out down the left-hand side now with Michele. Out to the left back, says Diakon once again comes inside on his right foot, goes back to Michele. Michele helps it across the right, and Ordonez. Good pressing here by Alvarez, puts them under a bit of pressure. Atletico swarming the back line of Club Brugge here, but now they just step off again as the ball goes back to Mignolet. Clearly understand when they want to press and when they want to sit. And at the moment they're sitting as Mignolet plays the ball left to Michele. That's a trigger as Atletico Madrid swarm forward again, once again. Mignolet under a bit of pressure, put under pressure by Alvarez. Griezmann forces the long pass from Michele, and that's well retrieved by Atletico Madrid. Good bit of defensive work from the front there by the away team. Hanko has the ball deep in his own half, plays right to Koke. Koke takes a couple of touches, moves towards the halfway line, gives it back to Pubil. Pubil across to Hanko. Atletico Madrid will quite happily keep possession as much as they can for the remaining 4.5 minutes plus stoppage time. There shouldn't be too much stoppage time, though. The VAR check did take a couple of minutes, so I would imagine we'll see at least 2 minutes added on at the end of this first half. Llorente deep in his own penalty area, goes all the way across to the right to Molina. Molina, not the best ball to Pubil. Pubil has to force that to Simeone, and they've just about got away with that, Atletico Madrid. No, they haven't, because Stankovic has taken it, but they've won it back again. And now Simeone is able to drive forward through the centre circle. Central running here from Simeone. Plays it across towards Griezmann, goes behind the Frenchman, and that ball's retrieved by Says. He clips it into midfield where Vanaken brings it down. He helps it on to Stankovic. Stankovic to Trusoldi. Trusoldi, nice little touch off to Says. Trusoldi gets it again on the halfway line, moves forward, goes out left to Diakon. Diakon comes inside once again on that right foot, diagonally, goes back across to Ordonez on the centre circle. Into Onyedika. Onyedika finds Diakon still central. Diakon helps it across again to Onyedika. Wide right now to Saba. Saba gets the cross low. It's gone all the way over. Hooked away by Hanko. Throw in to Club Brugge. Midway between the edge of the penalty area and the goal line, and Saba's going to take this throw in. Waits for movement from Club Brugge. Opts to throw it back deep to Zolis. Zolis helps it round the corner into Vanaken. Vanaken, a couple of touches. He ends up moving back towards the halfway line, but he's given it away, and away comes Atletico Madrid. Julian Alvarez gets the opportunity to move left. He comes inside, plays it to Griezmann. Griezmann with a nice little touch, creates so much space with one touch of the ball. Moves back to the centre circle. Now he can quickly move forwards. He's got the opportunity to roll it into Molina, but that's well read by Diacon. He did well to move Molina off the ball, and he's helped out by Michele. Ball played forward, only as far as Llorente though. Atletico Madrid get the chance to go again. Llorente goes left to Koke. Koke helps it on to Hanko. Hanko moves into the Bruges half. Goes wide left to Ruggieri. Takes a touch, comes back to Koke. Koke near the centre circle. Moves it across to Pupil. Pupil drops the shoulder. Plays out to Llorente. Llorente more right side at the moment. Simeone to Molina. Molina back to Llorente. Bruges just getting a shape. Not pressing just yet. Ball being moved around comfortably enough by Atletico Madrid. Llorente moves forward. Molina wide on the right, goes inside to Koke. Koke helps it infield to Griezmann. Griezmann pops it back out again to Pupil. Pupil to Koke. Down the line now. Good movement here from Simeone. He can cross the 6-yard box. Great cover by Saba at the far post. Lookman was about to pull the trigger. The young right back slid across, got to the ball ahead of Lookman. Simeone made a great break down the right, low cross in first time. Lookman looked like he was going to get there ahead of Saba, but Saba just slid across the 6-yard line, got there. In fact, Lookman did get his toe on goal first, and Saba got the block in, so even better bit of defending by the young right back. And it is going to be a corner to Atletico Madrid. The assistant on this near side just telling Griezmann to hurry up. Griezmann quite happy just to stroll across to this right-hand side to take this corner. Now places the ball down just outside the arc, but enough of it showing over the top. Griezmann, left-footed, is likely to swing this corner into the box, so he has a short option with Alvarez, which he takes. Alvarez plays it across to Koke. Koke to the middle now. Llorente takes a couple of touches, and then that's a deflected effort from Llorente. His first touch wasn't great. Had to hurry his second one, which was his shot. Got a deflection, goes out for another corner from this near-hand side. That Atletico Madrid right. This time Julian Alvarez is going to take. We've got 20 seconds plus injury time left at the end of this first half. Alvarez curls this one away into the middle, headed away by Vanaken. Help to the edge of the box. Strike from distance. It's bouncing around, and Stankovic now volleys the ball up to the halfway line, where Molina retrieves, and he plays quickly forward. Well read by Says. Deflects that ball back into midfield. On Onyedika does well, gets the free kick. Good body strength from Frank Onyedika. Bought the foul, puts it down, plays it quickly. Bruges would like to go forward one more time. 3 minutes of injury time here at the end of the first half. We're 12 seconds into that injury time as Michele brings it forward. Onyedika, terrible touch in the middle of the park, and Michele bails out the Nigerian by sliding in and winning the ball. Onyedika just didn't check his shoulders there at all and was pressed, and it looked like Griezmann was going to break through, but Michele did a good job. Ball's back with Oblak in the Atletico goal, and he launches a long ball forward to no one in particular. That goes all the way through to Simon Mignolet, who's halfway inside the Club Brugge half. He just rolls it left, takes it on his chest, plays it to his left, and Michele moves forward to Ordonez. Ordonez wide, Saba. Great bit of defending a few moments ago from Saba. Now he's in the Atletico Madrid half. Played back to Ordonez. Ordonez rolls that ball across once again to Michele. Nice ball out to Diacon. Diacon, that's good cover by Simeone though, but Bruges still have the ball deep in the Atletico Madrid half. Says, helps it round the corner. 1-2 with Vanaken. Tresoldi, back to Vanaken. Vanaken goes wide right to Zolis. Zolis got the chance now. Takes a step over, looks across. Good block by Lookman. There's a Club Bruges player down. I think it's Tresoldi. He's down in the penalty area. Didn't quite see what happened there, but he's down holding his left boot, left toes. I'm sure we'll see back on a replay in a second what happened there. Just seeing it now. Tresoldi. Yeah, Tresoldi was clipped by Marcus Llorente in the area. Oh, he was very clearly clipped by Marcus Llorente. Llorente's got both feet on the right boot of Tresoldi. But no, we're going to go again. The referee's been told to get the game back underway. So, I mean, that one was a little bit more in the difficult to overturn camp if you're a Club Brugge fan. As they come forward down the right, that crosses too near Jan Oblak, and he just palms the ball down, drops it in his penalty, in his 6-yard box, and then falls on it as Tresoldi tries to get towards the ball. And we've got just 30 seconds left of this injury time at the end of the first half. Looks like Atletico Madrid going to take a 1-goal lead into the half-time break, but they do come forward here. Alvarez just drifting across the penalty area, goes left to Lookman, but Saba does well to get there again. Lookman retrieves, gives it back to Alvarez. Alvarez out wide left to Ruggieri. Ruggieri takes a touch to set himself, gives it back to the Argentine. Alvarez looks for options, just faces the goal again, helps it down the line to Griezmann. That was a nice ball. Griezmann dinks it in. This is great play by Atletico Madrid. It was pulled back by Koke. Ruggieri kept his run going, but it fell to him on his right foot, and his shot got deflected away for a corner. Creative little play by Griezmann. Nice little ball. Koke back-heeled it. Ruggieri took the shot first time on his right. Ordonez deflected it, and it went out for a corner to Atletico. Will there be time for this corner to be taken? Julian Alvarez is out on that left-hand side. He's going to be taking it right-footed as the rain comes down here in Bruges. Swung into the near post. It's gone all the way in. I think that's gone straight in from Julian Alvarez. Just waiting to see it back on the monitor. The ball is definitely in the back of the net. Atletico Madrid will take a 2-goal lead in. Just waiting to see if anybody got a touch as that ball came across the 6-yard box. Bruges players looking around each other in disbelief. Simeone celebrating on the touchline. Ivan Leko cutting a disconsolate figure, drenched on his touchline in his technical area. Let's have a look back. Drifted in. Griezmann maybe got a touch at the near post. Just looking to see again. Hard to say from that angle. I think there was a touch at the far post. Might have been Ademola Lookman. No, I think it's gone in off Stankovic, in fact. Either Lookman or Stankovic at the far post got the final touch. Impossible to see off my monitor. I'm going to have to be told who scored the second, but it was a great corner by Alvarez, not defended particularly well by Bruges, and in the end somebody at the far post got a touch, and we go in at 2-0 to Atletico Madrid. Club Bruges 0, Atletico Madrid 2, and I can confirm that Ademola Lookman has been given that goal 4 minutes into injury time, and that's 3 goals in his last 3 games for his new team. Atletico Madrid will be delighted with the situation they find themselves in. They lead here in this championship 2-0. We'll be back with the second half shortly.
Mob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
top for the home team. Atletico Madrid in their traditional 4-4-2, Jan Oblak in goal, Molina, Pubel, Hanko, Ruggieri across the back, Simeone, Koki, Llorente and Lookman across the midfield, and Griezmann and Alvarez up front for Diego Simeone's team. So nothing of note has really happened in the first 60 seconds of this second half. But Club Brugge know that they need to score at least one to give them something to go at in the Metropolitano next week, as Vanaken switches from the middle out to the right, but that's well cut out by Ruggieri. Goes out for a Club Brugge throw on the right-hand side, midway inside the Atletico half. Quick throw back to Ordonez. Ordonez rolls it across to Michele. Michele takes a couple of touches, goes to Says. Says has to go back to Mignolet outside his penalty area, quickly over to the Ecuadorian Ordonez, given back to Simon Mignolet. Simon Mignolet has had better days in this fixture. Back in 2022, he made 9 saves in this fixture to secure a 0-0 draw, and it was considered one of the great goalkeeping performances in recent group stage history. Well, he's not really had a chance with either of the Atletico goals tonight, as Vanaken's just received a head in the back of his head from Mark Pubel, who throws his hands out. In fact, it was David Hanko just throws his arms out in disbelief. And actually, looking back on the replay, I can see why Hanko was a little bit unperturbed and surprised a free kick was given. But then seeing it from this angle, they take that back. Yeah, Stankovic has received slightly more than a nudge in the back there, and it was a free kick to Club Brugge. And it's amazing how you can see things back on a monitor 3 times and have 3 different opinions as to what just happened. Ordonez brings the ball forward, clips this one down the Bruges right, headed away by Ruggieri. Lookman, heavy touch, gives the ball away. Stankovic recovered, gives the ball back to Vanaken, playing very deep, and he swings that one all the way out to Diakon. First chance for Diakon in this half to have a run. Simeone lets him go by, and that's all the way across the 6-yard box, and Oblak just gets down to it in time. No Bruges player really attacked that, and Diakon did ever so well. Beat his man, got a ball low into the box. Everything you can ask from a wide forward player. Nobody attacks it. Atletico Madrid play forwards, given away. Stankovic keeps it moving forward. Onyedika laid off again to Stankovic, goes out to the right where Zolis. Been quite quiet so far, Christos Zolis. Looking for more from him in this second half for all the Club Brugge fans. And he's won his team a corner, their first of this second half. Ball coming off Marcos Llorente. And it's going to be a corner to Club Brugge on this right-hand side, the near side, as we look at the field of play. Ivan Leko still pacing up and down his technical area. Zolis is going to take this corner right-footed, so he's going to swing it away from Jan Oblak's goal. Both arms in the air. Heibergen, they're just having a chat with the players, telling them to keep their arms themselves. Zolis whips it. Oh, it's gone all the way through, and Alvarez gets to clear it from the edge of the penalty area. Took a couple of touches, though. In fact, he's given it away, and and it's run off the left foot of Vanaken. He thought he'd pinched it, but it's just gone out for a throw-in to Atletico Madrid on that right-hand side, which will be taken by Molina. Molina's had a bit of criticism in recent weeks for not knowing what is behind him. And to be fair to Diakon on that side, he's asked a few questions of the Argentine right back by getting in off the shoulder and running at him. So and Giuliano Simeone has done some good work dropping back in and supporting his right back. And Diakon on the left-hand side has been the most dangerous attacking threat for Club Brugge in this game so far, as they come down the other side now with Saba on the right. Plays inside to Zolis. That's a nice little take by Zolis. Zolis plays it across. Stankovic gets across, and Hanko had to slide to block that away for a corner. A bright first 5.5 minutes for Club Brugge in this second period. Stankovic breaking the lines, getting into the penalty area. Zolis played him in, And it was a good bit of defending by David Hanko. Slid across, blocked it out for the corner kick. Another chance for Zolis. Plays this one a little bit deeper. Header's gone in. Is that in? No, it is in. Yes, Club Brugge have got a goal back. Not entirely sure what's happened there, but Onyedika is running back to the centre circle with the ball. The Atletico players are looking at themselves with a bit of an inquest going on. I think the ball broke initially to Tresoldi. Oblak looked like he got a touch on the ball. Going to see it back now. So in comes the header from Vanaken. Oh, is Tresoldi offside there? Got his header. Oblak made the save. Onyedika bundled it over the line. I think Tresoldi's right shoulder might be ahead of the Atletico line there. Let's see what Jared Gillett's going to come up with in the VAR room this time. It was a good save by Oblak, but he didn't really do enough with palming it away. And Frank Onyedika bundled the ball over the line. Just going to wait and see what is given here. Goal is being checked by Jared Gillett, the VAR official tonight. Glenn Nyman just waiting, finger to his ear, waiting to hear what he is instructed. Not seeing anything on our monitors here in the commentary booth, so we are as much in the dark as you are at this stage. But my initial reaction when I saw it back was that Tresoldi's right shoulder was offside. Though that said, looking at it from that angle, it might be a bit tighter than I initially thought. So rather than me just speculating and guessing, I think we should wait for the official call from VAR. Well, we still haven't got it. Taking their time on this one. Important we get it right. This could be a route back into the tie for Club Brugge. The goal has been given. Tresoldi did manage to hold his run enough. And it is a goal. Club Brugge are back in this fixture. Frank Onyedika has halved the deficit, I should say. And it is 1-2 here in Bruges. So, no clean sheet again for Diego Simeone's team. And that is a Champions League record for them they did not want. And they've not kept a clean sheet in 9 consecutive Champions League matches now. 16 goals conceded in that run, and it is a new club record for their longest ever run without a European shutout. This is where Atletico starts getting a little bit nervous. They're, as I said at the start of this match, currently on their longest ever losing run in away Champions League knockout matches, 4 consecutive defeats. They've not won an away knockout game since beating Manchester United in 2022. So are they going to add to that? Glenn Nyman's coming over. He's about to show a yellow card to somebody on the touchline. Is that going to be Diego Simeone? Not sure. It looks like Simeone's instructing one of his backroom staff to sit down and be quiet. Glenn Nyman came over. He's waved a yellow card in somebody's direction there. I'm going to need my TV monitor to tell me who got booked there. Not too familiar with the faces of either Atletico's backroom staff or that of Club Brugge, but Mignolet, who I do recognise, has got the ball in the penalty area and he scuffs his clearance, but Vanaken is able to retrieve it, gets it down into Tresoldi, back to Vanaken. Vanaken deep, turns, plays across to Ordonez. That's a heavy touch by Ordonez. Griezmann gets the ball forward, plays across to Alvarez. Alvarez, nice little spin, keeps possession, goes back to Griezmann. Griezmann goes out left to Ruggieri. Ruggieri to Lookman. Lookman being stood up by Saba, plays it across. Alvarez takes it again, gives it back to Ruggieri. Triangles on the left-hand side here for Madrid. They pop it back deeper to Llorente. Llorente goes in field to Hanko. Hanko across to Pubil. Drilled out to the right-hand side, but poached by Says, but gives it away. Back into Pubil. Pubil to Molina. Well won there by Diacon, and Diacon tries to come forward, and Pubil has to stretch and just about gets that ball back to Jan Oblak. Oblak plays across to Hanko. Hanko slows it down, gives it back to his goalkeeper, and Pubil receives it to the right-hand side of the area into Griezmann, helps it round the corner. Nice little touch. Looking for the on-rushing Molina, but that's gone out for a throw-in now to Club Brugge. 56.5 minutes gone here. Club Brugge 1, Atletico Madrid 2. Frank Onyedika has pulled one back for Club Brugge, and they feel like they are in the ascendancy in this tie. As they play forward down the left, bit of space here for Tresoldi to get the cross in. Hooked away, in fact, offside flag is up from the assistant on this near side. So it'll be a free kick to Atletico Madrid. And Atletico need to get through the next half an hour or so. They've conceded once again, longest run without a shutout in their Champions League history. Very un-Simeone-like. As Stankovic plays forward, Solis helps it back to Ordonez. Ordonez uses Mignolet in the goal, and he plays it left to Michele. Michele, nice little shift of the ball. That's a good ball into Onyedika as well. He helps it round the corner. Given away though this time, and Atletico Madrid move into securing the ball once again on the halfway line. Back to Jan Oblak. Oblak takes a touch, goes left to Hanko. Hanko left-footed, out to Ruggieri. Ruggieri takes a touch, goes back inside to Marcos Llorente. Llorente heading back towards his own touchline, spins, plays it to Lookman. Lookman does well, but that's well worked and well won in the midfield by Club Brugge. But no free kick given. Tresoldi looked like he was bundled to the floor there, but they've played on. But he's got the ball back again now, and he breaks through this time. That's got to be a free kick, surely. And it is given by Glenn Nyman, and that is a free kick to Club Brugge. Opportunity for them to load a set piece into the box. Nyberg correctly calling that one. Ball's out with the winger on the left-hand side for Club Brugge. Diacon plays it across. Ordonez now goes to the right-hand side where Saba drifts infield, and he plays back into the centre circle where Michele has a chance to keep the ball moving forwards. Nice bit of play by Club Brugge. Ordonez gets it under, goes back inside to Vanaken. Vanaken back to Ordonez. Saba helps it around left-footed, giving that one away. One at the back by Hanko. Llorente gets it down, put under pressure, well worked by Stankovic, got his toe in, that goes out for a throw in to Atletico Madrid. And a throw which Ruggieri is going to take for the away team. Looking for options, just taking as much time as he can. Alvarez comes short, trapped by Ordonez, leaves space in behind. Lookman unable to bring that one down. Saba takes it quickly, throws it back to Stankovic, helped infield to Vanaken. Vanaken spins, plays a nice little ball back to Stankovic. Stankovic goes across to Michele. Michele comes back central, plays infield to Onyedika. Onyedika turns, helps the ball across to the right-hand side. And now Vanaken again drifts back towards the centre circle. Not really going anywhere here, Club Brugge, just yet. But that's a nice ball through the lines. Onyedika. Now we can move it out left to Diacon. Diacon gets a chance to run. Gets towards the penalty area. Goes outside. Crosses it left-footed. There's a touch at the near post and they're level. Tresoldi has pulled Club Brugge level. That was a great bit of play by Diacon. Went one way, came back onto his left foot, crossed low to the near post where Tresoldi got away from his man. And that was a very tidy finish by the 21-year-old German Nicolo Tresoldi. That is a tidy little near post flick past Jan Oblak. And Club Brugge, who come from 2 goals down, they've got themselves level within 15 minutes of this second half. And Ivan Leko is absolutely elated on the sidelines, and he has every reason to be. This is a wonderful move by Club Brugge. I was saying they weren't really going anywhere, and then suddenly they moved through the gears. Diacon with a great bit of play down that side, crossed it left-footed, and Tresoldi timed his run brilliantly between the two centre-halves, stuck his right foot out, flicked it home. It's another goal scored by one of the Club Brugge young guns. That is 10 goals scored by players under 21 in this Champions League campaign for the home team. What a fight back by Ivan Leko's team. Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone, they look absolutely stunned. And no doubt they're going to be readying some substitutes as Christos Solis slides in and puts that one out for a corner. Seeing the first substitute being lined up, in fact, and yeah, Ademola Lookman is on. Ademola Lookman is off. Alex Baena is on for Atletico Madrid. So Atletico Madrid's number 10 is the first substitute onto the field of play in this game as Club Brugge move forward again. Vanaken helps it on. Tresoldi, lovely feet, turns, goes, tries to help it through to Stankovic, who is running in behind. Cut out by Pubil. And they are pressing Atletico Madrid, and they've turned the ball over again, Club Brugge. This is really good play by the home team in this second half. They've come out as a different team entirely. Zolis on the right-hand side. Little touch to Saba. Saba keeps it in. Plays it down the line to Stankovic. Stankovic into Vanaken, his captain. Vanaken hooks it up into the box where Onyedika looks to run in. Headed away by Hanko. Punched clear by Ruggieri. A big up and under. One in the air by Michele. Brought down by Says on the halfway line. Left back just turns, goes back. He's looked a lot more composed in this second period after struggling so much in the first half. Onyedika has the ball in the centre circle. He plays it left to Says. Says just keeps possession. They move it across their back line, across the halfway line, out to Saba on the right-hand side. He looks to turn and go past Baena. Baena's got his hands all over him. Is that going to be a free kick? No, the referee Nyberg has played on Alex Baena, the substitute. He was a headline signing in the summer, 40 million euros from Villarreal. And he's usually Simeone's first substitute. He'll be playing on the left-hand side instead of Ademola Lookman now, by the looks of it. And Club Brugge are slowing the game down now, keeping possession near their own penalty area. Rolled across to Simon Mignolet, takes a touch right-footed, rolls the ball into Onyedika. Onyedika turns, faces, plays into Tresoldi. Tresoldi helps it around to Saba. Saba brings it down, plays it back to Ordonez. Bit tight for Saba, does well to get away. Helped on by Stankovic. Tresoldi again moves across, tries to link it in, but they lose possession, and Atletico Madrid have it on the halfway line. They go back to Hanko. Hanko goes central to Pubil, who launches one forward, looking for the run in behind by Simeone. Simeone bouncing it around with Michele. Michele comes out with the ball, does well there. Plays it left to Diacon. Diacon goes inside. Onyedika's got space on the halfway line. He plays left now to the captain, Vanaken. Vanaken holds it up, looks for support, plays in field. Diacon shifts it out right towards Solis, but Ruggieri reads it well, taps it out for a throw-in, which Saba takes quickly. This is relentless from Club Brugge. They are keeping this ball moving quickly, but the referees actually asked them to go back and take this throw-in again because Antoine Griezmann is being substituted, and the big man Alexander Sorloth is coming on in his place. Joint top scorer in the league with 7 goals this season, the Viking. 1.95 meter tall. He's going to offer a completely different threat coming off the bench. And no doubt we're going to see Atletico go a little bit more direct now. They've got the Norwegian up front. Alvarez in his own half. Spins, comes out with the ball, plays it across to Pubil, keeps possession going to Koke. Koke moves it left to Hanko. Hanko now to Ruggieri. He's got a chance to drive forward from left back. Plays in field, heavy touch from Alvarez. Alvarez nice and deep at the moment, being held up by the Bruges midfield. Koke helps it one more to Pubil. Pubil keeps it moving to his right back, Molina. Molina keeps possession of the ball. Just patient play here from Atletico Madrid. And all breaks down as Madrid still looking a little bit shell-shocked here in Belgium. They led, of course, they led by 2-0, but they have been pinned back completely. And Diego Simeone in conversation with his backroom staff, looking to come up with a solution. And they're going to have to come up with something quickly here, the away team, because they want to take something back to Madrid next week. And they've gone and turned to their big Norwegian, averaging a goal every 2 to 3 games domestically. They will hope he can do something coming off the bench this evening here in Belgium. There's every chance that Club Brugge are going to add to Atletico's away day blues. Crystal Zolis looking to keep possession for Club Brugge here as they look to come forward once again. Brugge only managed 0.39 XG in the first half. Since the break, they've got 1.28. This is good turnaround from the home team. Whatever Ivan Leko said at half-time absolutely did the trick. As Madrid come forward down the left-hand side, Ruggieri plays it into Alvarez. Alvarez goes back to Ruggieri. Ruggieri across to Koke. Koke stands one up into Sorloth. Sorloth gets a header off the crossbar. That was a wonderful angled ball in by Koke. Sorloth using his height off the shoulder of Michele, directed his header at goal. Just came off the angle of post and crossbar. A warning there for Club Brugge. 69 minutes gone, 2-2 here, of course. But Atletico going close to getting themselves back in front. Ball's back with Simon Mignolet. Vanaken. Vanaken moves it out to Ordonez. Moves it quickly to Saba, the right back. Saba takes a touch, goes back to his Ecuadorian central defender. He takes a couple of touches, moving the ball forwards into Saba, who plays it left-footed into the middle of the park. One in the air, comfortably enough by Hanko. Ball breaks to Sorloth on the edge of the box. The big number 9 drifts out to the right-hand side, looking for support. Doesn't have any, so has to keep moving the ball himself. Loses out to Diacon. Diacon, the young Frenchman, sprints forward before laying it back comfortably to Vanaken. Vanaken into Onyedika, scorer of the first goal for Club Brugge this evening. Out to the right-hand side where Saba keeps it by going back to Ordonez. 10 total attempts from Club Brugge so far, 6 on target, and I cannot tell you how much better they have been in this second half. 3 more shots on target than Atletico Madrid so far. Mignolet on the edge of his box, plays forward Tresoldi tries to hold it up, but he's lost out to Hanko, but Hanko's just given that straight back to the captain, Vanaken, who's playing as a quarterback at the moment. Nice ball in field, and an opportunity here for Zolis to run in the number 10 position. Goes out left to Diakon. Diakon on his right foot, drifts in field, looks for options, finds Zolis again, shot on goal. Oblak gets down to save to his left. What a fluid move again from Club Brugge. Great movement, great interchanging of positions. Diakon drifted in from that left-hand touchline again, played it across. In fact, it was Stankovic who got there, controlled well with his left, span and shot with his right. Oblak got down well, made the save. Club Brugge, if anyone's going to win this game right now, despite Atletico hitting the bar a few moments ago, it feels like Club Brugge are going to be the team who go on and take the victory here in this first leg, as Stankovic looks to go out to Diakon. Molina wins the header. Simeone gives it back to Diakon. And Atleti move through the lines once again. Baena quite central now. Has Ruggeri out wider to the left, and he plays it out to the Italian. Gets the ball back again, Baena. Baena keeps the ball moving and plays into Pubil. Pubil moves the ball out wide right to Simeone. Simeone checks, comes in field to Julian Alvarez. Alvarez moves across the midfield. Just runs with the ball, taking it with his right foot. Chops, turns back, plays infield, looking for a little 1-2 by Aino. Was he cleaned out by Onyedika? Referee says no. Vanaken in his own penalty area. Keeps possession of the ball, goes to Michele. Michele plays back to Mignolet. Mignolet takes a touch, not the best left-footed clearance. Allows Llorente to move the ball forward again for Atletico, and Brugge come away with a free kick though. Nice play again by Nicolo Tresoldi. 21 years old. That's his 12th goal of the season in all competitions. Given his size, he's a very old school number 9. Excellent in the air and holding the ball up. Not the biggest guy, and he started tonight ahead of Romeo Vermont, the local fan favourite, compared to Lukaku. But I tell you what, he's done a job for his manager so far, Tresoldi. Highest volume shooter in the squad, doesn't need too many touches to get a shot away, as we've seen, and he scored the all-important equalising goal here. 73 minutes gone. Club Brugge 2, Atletico Madrid 2. One in the air by Ordonez, as helps it to Koke. Koke to Baena. Baena tries to thread one through for Simeone to run onto, coming off the right flank, but that went through to Mignolet, and Club Brugge can build again down this right-hand side where Zolis takes a touch, and Brugge are going to make a substitute themselves in a second. Ordonez has the ball, goes across to Michele to his left. Michele takes a touch, opens up, plays in field to Vanaken. Vanaken really dictating the play for Brugge this evening. And given away now though, Alvarez drifts in field. Nice bit of play by the Argentine, but gives that away. Good take by Ordonez. Ordonez in field. And here's a break with Diamond. Good attack. Is he brought down? Yes, he is. And we're going to see... Oh, no, the referee's played on. Looked like he'd signalled that was a free kick. And Sorloth has also taken advantage of the confusion. He's being held up by Ordonez on the edge of the box. Alvarez, can he get enough control to shoot? But that's good tracking back by Stankovic. He brings the ball away, and quickly Brugge are in transition, and they're moving forward themselves. Onyedika has the ball towards the centre circle. Nice little ball inside to Stankovic. Saba to Zolis. Zolis drifts in field from that right flank again. Good ball to Stankovic. Tries to release Saba down the right-hand side. Ruggeri gets across. Plays it through to Baena. Good cover by Ruggeri. Gets the ball back to Koke. Koke across his penalty area to Pubil. Pubil goes wide to Simeone. Simeone has to go back to Molina. Molina keeps possession of the ball. Heavy touch by Llorente. He goes back to Pubil again. Pubil plays forward looking for Sorloth, but that's aimless, and that goes out for a throw-in to Club Brugge on the left, and we're just going to see the substitution be made now, I think. Wait to see who's coming on. It is Romeo Vermont, who I mentioned a minute ago, the 22-year-old academy product. He is replacing Tresoldi, who's done a fine job for his manager up front today. A lot of hype around Vermont. Fans are drawing bold comparisons to Romelu Lukaku. scoring a goal every 90 minutes at the moment. Vermont's going to come on. Player with good hold-up play, link-up play and movement as well. So excited to see what Vermont's going to do in the last 15 minutes plus injury time as Mignolet plays forward to Vermont. He wins the header, heads it down to Stankovic. Llorente runs in, gets the ball under. Ooh, and I think maybe Simeone. Simeone's just taken an arm from Onyedika in the face. In fact, it's Marcus Llorente rolling around on the floor. Just seeing this back on my monitor. Llorente scooped the ball up and over Onyedika, who just left his arm in the air, and he absolutely thwacked Marcus Llorente in the face. And I can understand why Llorente did go to ground on that occasion. I think we saw a yellow card there for Onyedika, and if we didn't, then he's done incredibly well to get away with that one. He just goes up to his opponent and apologises, and we're back on with the game. Ball's down the right hand side with Molina. He comes in field to Llorente, who's fully recovered from that clash, and Koke helps it right to Pubil. Pubil steps into midfield, goes wide right again to Molina. Molina takes a touch, comes inside, goes all the way back to his central defender, and Pubil drills the ball over to Hanko. Hanko out left to Ruggieri. Baena moves back out to the left-hand touchline as the ball goes back to Hanko. Hanko has to go all the way back to Oblak. Good shape from Club Brugge, forcing Atletico Madrid back into their own defensive line, and their goalkeeper Jan Oblak. Oblak goes left to Hanko. Hanko can move forwards now. Takes a couple of touches. Koke drops really deep to get the ball, playing in between the two central defenders, almost as a half-back. Gets the ball again, back to Hanko. Hanko plays forward, left-footed, looks to get Sorloth in behind, but that runs through to Mignolet. Comfortable enough for the 37-year-old Belgians come out and claim that on the edge of his box. Just confirmation that Onyedika did receive a yellow card there as he gets the ball in midfield. Looks to receive the ball back, but they've given it away, Club Brugge. That was sloppy. Move forward to Baena in the pocket. Baena plays into Sorloth. Sorloth's got a chance. That's a good save by Simon Mignolet. Alexander Sorloth got the shot in from the right-hand side of the box, and Mignolet made a good block, made himself big, got his angles right, ball hit his body. It's out on the left with Ruggieri. Baena drifts in field for Atletico. Plays it all the way across to Pubil, who spears this one out to the right-hand side now. And Simeone gets a chance to put the ball all the way across, and it's in. I think that's gone in off Ordonez. It has. Sorloth was round the back, putting him under pressure. Ordonez knew he had to make contact with the ball, but all he's done is poke the ball into his own net, and Atletico Madrid have the lead again here in Belgium. Disaster for the 21-year-old Ecuadorian, who's had such a good game. Simeone fired the cross low along the 6-yard line, and Ordonez, just seeing it back now, Ordonez looked to get there ahead of Sorloth, which he did, but unfortunately he just put the ball into the bottom right-hand corner of Simon Mignolet's goal. It was a very tidy finish in fairness, but just in the wrong goal. It was actually Llorente who raced down the line and got the cross in. And there's a good couple of moments there for Atletico. Mignolet forced into a save, and then the next time Atletico got into the box, Ordonez has tucked it past his own goalkeeper. And Atletico Madrid have a 3-2 lead now. They'll be feeling a lot better about their lot in life, having conceded twice in this second half. Zolis runs forward. Has that got through? Oh, well cut out by Pubil. Zolis was looking to get it through to Lermont. And they play forward with Hanko. And desperate defending again from Club Brugge as they just pushing players forward now. They desperately want to take something positive to Madrid next week. And Diamond breaking forward again off that left-hand touchline, gives it away as he drifted in field. Diacon so dangerous, but his final product is inconsistent. Put a wonderful ball in for Tresoldi's equaliser, but he's given it away a few times in that position. Saba on the right-hand side. Plays it down the line to Zolis. Zolis, nice take, drifts in field, gets away from Baena. He's on his left foot, looks to curl one, but that ball's always rising. Goes into the fans behind Jan Oblak's goal. Just drifts in, the young Greek, leaning back as he looked to make contact with his left foot, and that ball was always going up and wide. Comfortably fielded in the crowd by a Club Brugge fan. I'm just seeing a ball rebound up into the arm of Llorente there, but Saba and Diacon being replaced here. And coming on are Sikwe and Campbell. So Chandre Campbell, South African winger. He's on for Diacon, has been the lively attacker. And Hugo CK, a right back, 23 years old. Played for Freiburg and Standard Liège. Good crosser of the ball. In fact, he was called the Belgian Beckham as a youth player. They're going to need quality down that right-hand side from him in the last 8.5 minutes plus injury time. In fact, here it falls to CK on the edge of the box. Plays it wide right to Campbell. Campbell drifts inside. Ball's with CK, then Campbell again, number 84. Left-footed, back to CK. CK rolls it across. Plays it left-footed all the way over to Michele. Michele to Says. Says out to the left-hand side where Zolis now drifts in on his right foot. Can Zolis keep the ball moving? He can. It goes to Ordonez. Ordonez out to Campbell. Campbell left-footed comes in. He gets a shot away. Blocked. It's gone up in the air. Headed away by Hanko. Onyedika bundles his way through. The ball's bouncing around everywhere in the Madrid penalty area. And it's bouncing out again now and Says goes back to the centre circle. In fact, it's gone all the way back to Simon Mignolet, who's near the centre circle himself, and he drives this ball back into the midfield where Stankovic keeps it moving forwards. Out left, Says overlapping, takes a touch, moves it down the line to Zolis. Zolis pulls it back left-footed, played away by Llorente, out for a Club Brugge throw-in. So Chandre Campbell getting a couple of touches early on. Clearly got pace, seems like quite a direct player, often used to stretch tired defences in the last 15 minutes, but that's exactly his brief having come on here. Zolis again in that pocket from the right, left-hand side of the area, gets a shot away, taken comfortably enough by Jan Oblak. And it looks like Atletico Madrid are readying a substitute as well. Zolis looks like he's going to be getting a lot of ball on the left-hand side. Now he's playing on that side, having switched flanks following the substitution by Ivan Lecco. Alvarez for Atletico Madrid just plays it back into his own half. Gets it again on the halfway line, opens up, then suddenly changes direction, goes in field and moves it across to David Hanko. Hanko strides forward, plenty of space for him to move into. Touches it off to Ruggieri. Ruggieri gives it back to Koke. Koke, possession across to Pubil. Llorente deep. Plays forward into Sorloth. Sorloth holds it up in the right channel. Being held up by Michele. Goes back to Molina. Molina to Llorente. Llorente plays it into Alvarez. Nice bit of movement of Michele's shoulder. Plays it back into Simeone. Simeone's cross is blocked. Good tracking by Stankovic. Goes out for a corner to Atletico Madrid. A chance for them to load one of their near post set piece routines maybe. Alvarez places the ball down, far hand side, right hand side of the Atletico Madrid attack, right footed corner. Sorloth moves, near post corner, hooked away by Vermont. Bouncing around, Vanaken gets it under, he plays forward, looks to go left, trying to get it to Zolis. Zolis brings it down, plays it back to Says. Says looks for options, comes in field, plays across to Ordonez, score of the own goal about 10 minutes ago, which gave Atletico Madrid their third and the lead again here in Belgium. Nice ball into Vermont. Vermont goes out to Campbell. Campbell on the right hand side, overlapping run from Sequen. Well read by Ruggieri, does well, gets the ball out of danger. Sequen picks it up again, crosses, right footed. That's a low ball in, that's caused problems. I can see what they were talking about. with his crossing ability. That was a lovely ball in, which Pubil had to stretch to clear away as Onyedika was looking to come round the back. Wonderful ball in from the Belgian substitute, Sequin. And Says is being replaced by Club Brugge, and just seeing who's coming on now, it's number 80, Felix Lemarechal, a French attacking midfielder, and Maya is also on 2. Bjorn Maya, a left back. So he'll be taking Jopin Says' place, having lost his place to the young academy graduate. Didn't see who went off there for Lemarechal to come on. Corner comes in from Club Brugge, headed away by Atletico Madrid. Sequin again gets the ball, gets fouled, free kick. Sequin getting on the ball quickly since coming on as substitute. Trying to see if I can see who else was taken off. Stankovic replaced with Lemarechal coming on in his place. Alex Baena giving away that free kick. So opportunity for Club Brugge to load this free kick into the box. Zolis is taking it. Good crossing position. Atletico Madrid holding their line in between penalty spot and 18-yard line. That's now dropped back to the penalty spot. Zolis steps up, swings it in. Oh, that's headed away. That's a good header by Hanko. Recycling opportunity here for Zolis. Plays it down the right-hand side to Campbell. Campbell just about keeps that in. Being slowed down by Ruggieri. Campbell takes it, crosses, headed away again by Hanko. Good defending, good defensive work. Helped across by Lemarechal. Moved by Vanaken out to the right again, where Campbell gets it under control. Campbell takes a touch. Crosses low into Zolis. Zolis helps it over. Placement from Vanaken blocked. Away come Atletico Madrid. Held up by Sorloth. Played left towards Alvarez. Alvarez running. Campbell working hard to get back with Alvarez, and Campbell does very well indeed. Lemarechal comes away with the ball. Vanaken, centre field. Streaming forward Club Brugge. Zolis moving towards the penalty area. Gets into the penalty area. Players it across. Onyedika back to Zolis. Shoots. Saved by Oblak down to his right. Good fluid attack again by Club Brugge. Nice little link up with Onyedika. Back to Zolis. Zolis is shot low to the right hand side of Jan Oblak. He gets down and he makes the save. Christos Zolas really getting heavily involved in this game as we move to the latter stages. 1.5 minutes of normal time remaining. We'll see how much injury time goes up. There's been substitutes, but there's not really been many other stoppages other than that. Sequin on the right-hand side goes to Campbell. Campbell plays it back to Ordonez. Still trying to recover from that own goal, which has given Atletico Madrid a crucial third here. Sequin in to Onyedika. Onyedika releases Zolis. Zolis is in on goal. Shoots, scores. It's 3-3 here in Belgium, but the offside flag is up, and I don't think this one is going to go in favour of Club Brugge. Nyberg had his arm up straight away. The assistance flag was up instantly. Zolis is convinced he was onside, so we are going to have to see this back. Oh, it's difficult to tell here, but he might have a case. His left shoulder might just be ahead of the line. It's a very good finish into the corner. Nice ball from Onyedika, well taken by Zolis. Very good finish with his left foot. We're going to have to wait and see what Jared Gillett says in the VAR room. Not had the best of nights, in my opinion, VAR so far this evening. Are they about to break Club Brugge hearts yet again, or are they going to get a lifeline and an equalising goal? Nyberg waiting for the decision. I think Koke's just been replaced. Goal is given. It is 3-3 here. Club Brugge have equalised. They've gone mad on the bench. Zolis is celebrating for the second time. He's being bundled into by his entire team. They need to get back in position. Madrid are going to be kicking off any second now. What a comeback here from Club Brugge. They were 2-0 down and 3-2 down, and Christos Zolis has equalised with a fine finish into Jan Oblak's left-hand corner. What a goal, scored by the young Greek. Wonderful finish coming in off the left. Flag went up instantly, but it was wrong. Jared Gillet's run the lines, and it's an equalising goal for Club Brugge. Can they hold on, or can they push for a winning goal here? And in all the excitement, I'm not sure how much injury time there is. There's 6 minutes injury time. We've had 5 minutes of it. 6 minutes injury time here in Belgium. 6 goals in this game, shared equally between the two teams. Club Brugge have been brilliant in the second half. They really have. Can they push on and get a winner? Helped on by Vanaken, brought down by Vermont. Vermont drifts, plays back. Nice little touch in the midfield. Sequay gets a chance to cross. Crosses to the far post. Oblak comes and claims before Zolis could arrive at the far post. Jan Oblak now with the captain's armband on. Still don't know who is on for Koke. This game is moving so fast. Difficult to see. Johnny Cardoso came on, and Lenormand is on as well for Atletico. Lenormand has come on for Molina. And the Club Brugge fans are bouncing around in the stands. What a spectacle they have seen here tonight. At the very least, you would imagine Club Brugge are going to be taking the game to Madrid and starting with the scores level next week. Played forward, Sorloth gets a flick on, but that just goes through to Michele. Michele plays it into Vanake, and that's just helped on. But aimlessly goes out for a throw-in. Not been many poor touches from Vanaken tonight, but that was one of them. Fubel now playing right back. Looks down the line, plays in field though. Baena finds a bit of space, tries to help it on. Away comes Lenormand, but he's given that away, and a chance for Campbell now to drive forwards for Club Brugge. They couldn't get another chance on goal, could they? Campbell comes inside on that left foot. Onyedika from distance, lines it up, plays it to Vermont. Was he brought down? Referee says play on, no foul given. Sorloth plays away, but goes straight away. Michele's on it, and that's a good little touch down the left-hand side for Brugge. They come forward again. Sequay's got a chance to shoot from distance. He touches it to Campbell on the right. Campbell crosses, easy enough for Oblak to come and take. So been breathless in injury time as Sorloth is breaking away at the other end. Sorloth is one-on-one in the area, slows it down, comes across with his left foot, gets his shot away, blocked by Michele. In fact, no, it's Vanaken. Vanaken appeared from nowhere and got the block as Sorloth looked like he was going to pull the trigger. Incredible work rate from the Club Brugge skipper tonight. He has been absolutely everywhere. Sequay plays back to Vanaken. Vanaken to Campbell. Campbell just uses his body. That's gone straight out. And is that going to be a Club Brugge throw? I thought it should be. It is a Club Brugge throw. So Sequay has a throw in on the halfway line. Campbell back on the pitch, having been sent flying by Ruggieri. Somebody's been booked. Waiting to see who that was. Nyberg just waving a yellow card at someone. I think it might have been Alex Baena. Yes, it was Alex Baena. Le Marchal keeps the ball in midfield, goes out to Sequay. Sequay plays a nice ball into Le Marchal, touches it off to Onyedika. Onyedika switches it left, brought down, and Zolis gets a chance to run at the defence again, plays across. Nice ball out to Campbell. Campbell puts it straight into the box. Can Vermont get there? No, he can't. Headed away. Baena helps it away to the edge of the box. Sorloth really deep. Sequay wins it. Club Brugge recycle again. They've got 1 minute of injury time. Can they do anything more here tonight? Campbell, nice little touch. Held up by Ruggieri. Does he get the free kick? No, he doesn't. Baena plays back. Cleared forward. Alvarez brings it down. Holds it up. Well won back in midfield by Le Marchal. He goes forward. Plays it into Vermont. Vermont takes a touch. Plays out to Campbell. Campbell comes inside on the left foot. held up by Baena. Oh, ambitious from the youngster Chandra Campbell, 20 years old, looked to curl one in with his left foot high and wide. Goal kick, 30 seconds left for Atletico Madrid. Injury time has been a treat here in Belgium. Club Brugge equalised in the 90th minute, and it's been frenetic for the 6 minutes of injury time as Atletico Madrid launched this one forward. Sorloth gets it and runs down the right-hand side, being held up. Can he get a ball into the box? He can, but there's nobody there. In fact, he's won a corner. It's a corner to Atletico Madrid. Will there be enough time for them to launch another ball into the box? Corner off Bjorn Meyer. And his height, having come off the bench, will be useful in this situation. Alvarez goes to get the ball, runs back over to the right-hand side. Surely this will be the last action of this game. Julian Alvarez puts the corner, ball down in the corner. He's going to send this one in right-footed. Near post. Everyone bundles into the near post, headed away by Club Brugge. And there is the final whistle. An absolute Champions League classic ends. Club Brugge 3, Atletico Madrid 3. Spectacular game here in Belgium. Atletico Madrid led 2-0 at half-time. Club Brugge came out of the blocks quickly in the second half, got themselves back to 2-2 before Ordonez turned it past Mignolet in his own goal, and Atletico Madrid led 3-2. Then, as injury time was upon us, Christos Zolis finished low with his left foot. VAR ruled him onside, and that's how this game is finished. 3 goals apiece. Can't wait for the return leg in Madrid next week. There is so much riding in this Champions League playoff game. Hope I get that one next week. Join us for all the action. Hope you've enjoyed today's coverage from Belgium. We'll be back again very soon.
Shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.